this week? Anna? Plants. Okay, and we made a chart last week, and it said things we know about plants and things we want to know about plants. Anyone remember some of the things you wanted to learn about plants? Kaylin?
Why do they have roots?
Why do they have roots? And why do plants have roots? Jackson?
Because they don't flop over the place and don't probably, well, if they didn't probably have roots, they would probably fall down and probably, I don't know, probably die or something.
Okay, Jackson says the roots hold the plant in the ground so it doesn't fall over. And there's one other job that the roots have, and it helps them satisfy their needs to survive. Xavier?
They get the nutrients from the soil, and they also help the plant get its water.
Right, he says they help the plant get nutrients from the soil, and it helps the plant get water from the soil. Okay, because we know plants need water to survive, right? Okay, we also wanted to know what the parts of the plant were. I'm reading it off the back on our chart. Do you guys remember the song we learned for the parts of the plant?
Yeah.
Why don't we stand up and let's review that real fast. So the parts of the plants were flower, leaves, stem and roots, stem and roots. Flower, leaves, stem and roots, stem and roots. These are the parts of the plant, yes we know. Flowers, leaves, stem and roots, stem and roots. Okay? Alright, you guys can sit back down. It could be petals. Okay? Alright? We also wanted to know why plants have leaves. Why do you think plants have leaves? Emma? Why do plants have leaves? Emma said we forgot the song about the seed. We can do that one next. Anyone know why plants have leaves? We haven't got to talk about that a lot yet. Emma? Okay, Emma said so the sunlight can shine on the leaves and the leaves can make food for the plant. Do plants go to McDonald's and eat a cheeseburger and that's how they get their food?
No!
Unlike humans and animals, they don't eat actual food. They process and make their own food, and that's why they need leaves.
They're not alive.
Plants are alive.
Well, I mean they're alive, but not like they can't walk.
Right, Tim says they're not able to walk and go and get food, right?
Not like that
Okay.
part of the body.
Right. Okay, so what we're going to do today, you're going to make a little craft, and it's about the parts of the plant. Okay? So you'll all get a blue piece of paper, and you'll all have your own petals to cut out. Okay? What part of the plant is this right here? Ella? The stem and the leaves, and then I even have underneath the grass. What's underneath the grass in the ground, the part of the plant that we can't really see? Ashley? And here's the roots.
You should make brown stuff under that.
Should have made some dirt. I didn't though. Okay, so you'll have all those parts that we just sang about in our song. And then you also have, we wanted to know where seeds come from. And we found that out last week. Where do seeds come from? Weston?
Plants.
Seeds come from plants, and plants come from seeds. That's how plants start. And we found out that's part of the life cycle of a plant. Okay, and we planted seeds in a bag last week. And we're at the second stage of the life cycle. Anyone remember that big, huge word where it's starting to kind of get roots and stuff? And it needed to be really warm, and it needed to be moist and wet. What was that big, huge word, Ashley? Germination. So that's the part of the cycle that we're watching for our bean seeds at the back. You guys have been observing those every day, right? Okay, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to hand you all your blue piece of paper, and then we'll start our craft. Okay? If you have a question, what should you do? Raise your hand. Petals, leaves, stem, and roots. We're going to make our craft starting from the top of the plant. So what part do you think we're going to start with? Anna?
Flower.
The flower part, the petals. Okay? So you'll each get some petals you'll have to cut out. If you leave it folded up, it's going to be magic and you'll end up with 4. 2 plus 2 would be 4. And then you have 1 solo. So 4 plus 1 equals 5. You'll have 5 petals all together. Okay? You can start cutting. Cut neatly. They kind of look like eggs. Flower leaves. I always want it to be stem. You already have some. Alright, if you guys freeze for 1 second, when you get those all cut out, you notice on mine that I made the narrow part of the petal, you're going to kind of put those in a circle, okay? But the narrow part makes a little circle, and that's where you'll end up putting the cupcake liner, where you're going to put the seeds, okay? So get all 5 of those cut out, and then try to get them put in a circle, so it kind of looks like the flower part of the plant.
I'm really happy today, so we can play together. Today, I'm gonna Google because at the school gym, I'm gonna go practice baseball, but I will practice.
What? That's funny. Baseball. Why not basketball?
Yeah, after school, we'll go baseball.
I thought basketball.
That's not important. Baseball, but and guess what?
Guess what? What's 2 times 2?
Okay, the next part in our song, it was petals, leaves, stem. But we're going to go ahead and put the stem first, okay? So if you kind of put the stem right underneath the 2 petals right here. Okay, everyone see that? So I'll go ahead and pass these out because a bunch of you are ready for the next step. Okay, so you can keep working. If you're not ready, that's
Like, you just let go of it, and then this goes all the way through. Remember that? And there's a yo-yo ball. Yeah. Okay.
Are you done gluing? Throw your scraps away so you're ready for the cleaner and that's the next part. Ella. Nope. Part that is on the stem that makes the food for the plant. Go ahead, Ella. The leaves, okay? If you leave the paper folded again, you'll end up with how many leaves? 2. You only have to cut once and you get 2 leaves, okay? You can glue those onto your stem. Classity.
Yes.
Alright, we're to the last part of the plant.
Oh.
It's the part that helps it get nutrients and water from the soil. Jaden, really loud. It's the part we can't see when it's planted in the ground.
Roots.
The roots. Okay, I'll give you 2 long ones and 1 short one. Okay, you can glue them on the bottom part of your stem, and then I will give you the grass. Okay, and you can snip a little at the top, and it'll make it look like there's some grass there. And then I will just staple it on the side so that it kind of flips open, so you can see the roots. Okay, so Jackson, would you be my helper, and would you pass this part? You don't need to do anything with this quite yet, and I'll pass you the roots. You're going to take your cupcake liner that I bring around, and you're going to glue it right in the middle of the petals. Okay, you'll be able to use your glue stick. Then I have some seeds. You can glue a few in there. You'll have to use the Elmer's glue, the drippy glue, okay? If you get, I have yellow, pink, and blue. If you get a color you don't want, you can ask if you want, someone wants to trade with you at their table. Can you force someone to trade with you? No, okay? If you don't get to trade, not a big deal, okay? Any questions about that part?
And you want to trade?
Fid, do you want to trade for blue?
What
put
is
the
it?
glue on
Blue?
here.
Blue or white? I don't know. Blue or white? Oh, I need a not blue.
This would be a good one. This would be a good one. A little dot. You don't need a big, huge dot.
Mine squeaks.
I said piece it. That'll be funny.
The next part, I want to see if you can label the parts of the plant. Then you need to have eyes on me, listen. Okay? So it says roots, stem, leaves, petals, seeds. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're just going to put it by it. The seeds will be kind of hard since they're in the cupcake liner. You can just kind of put it in that general area. Roots. You can cut. You need to cut. You can cut. You can actually put it on the petal. Oh, I don't do until I set. Okay, but they're okay so far. Just leave it. But don't Don't glue. Yes.
Hello.
You glue it. The first thing I want you to find is which one you think is a leaf. Go ahead and pick up the one you think is the leaf part of a plant.
I got two.
You have two of them. If you want to hold both of them up, you can. Anyone know what kind of vegetable this is?
Oh, it's a...
Tim? It is the leaf. It is a... Go ahead, Xavier.
Spinach.
It's spinach.
Spinach is also a superfood.
Spinach is a superfood. It's really good for you. So if you'd like to try the spinach, this is a leaf. When you eat spinach, you're eating the leaf part of a plant. Do you also notice there on some of them, you can also see what part would this be? The stem. So if you'd like to, you can try it. If you don't want to, you don't have. Now I want you to try to find which one on your plate is a root. Pick it up. Which one do you think is the root? This one's kind of tricky. You have to think about how these things might grow in the ground. You should pick up the carrot.
I knew it was the
The
carrot.
carrot is a root. Okay?
Whoa.
Xavier, right now is not a good time to refill your water. We're doing something else. Okay? When a carrot grows, remember our story tops and bottoms about the bear and the hare? And hare had to do all the work for bear. And he said when he planted the carrots, what part did hare say he would get? I'll plant the carrots and you, bear, can have, Ella,
Oh,
the tops and I'll get the bottoms. You remember that? And the bottoms of a carrot, the root would be the good part. You guys remember that story? Bear learned not to be so lazy and to plant his own food and do his own work. Okay, so if you want to try your carrot, you're eating a root. I guess roots are good. Think about while you're eating a carrot, what else that you might eat are roots. If you have an idea, raise your hand. Xavier? Potatoes. Anyone like mashed potatoes? If you like mashed potatoes, when you eat that, you're actually eating a root. And beets are also a root. Beets, they're the bright red. No, they're not headphones. They're the bright kind of reddish purple. Sometimes when you see them, they're cut up. All right, the next thing I want you to find, where do you think, which one on your plate is a seed? There's one's too easy. There's a bunch of them. Hold one of them up if you can. They're pretty tiny. The sunflower seeds are the seeds. You can eat those if you want. Find which food on your plate is a flower. The flower part. It is actually the broccoli. This part right here, not this part. You see a stem and then you also see the flower part. This is actually called a floret. Can you say floret?
Floret.
Listen, floret and flower. Does it kind of sound the same?
Yes.
So when you eat broccoli, you're eating a flower. Anyone like cauliflower?
Oh.
Cauliflower is also the flower part of a plant. Okay, so if you'd like to, you can eat your broccoli.
This broccoli is yellow. The broccoli
Broccoli does look like a little tree.
I don't like broccoli.
Then you don't eat it.
Okay. I need broccoli. I hate broccoli.
All right, this is the last thing you have left. Raise your hand. It's celery. What part of the plant are you eating when you eat a piece of celery? Anna, what do you think? The stem. Okay? So you can grab your celery. When you eat celery, you're eating a stem.